I'm just a bill. Yes, I am only a bill, and I'm several thousand light years away from Capitol Hill.
Well, now that I've come to the sad conclusion that Infinity Wars TCG is no longer an active game, not active enough that I can keep trying to endorse it over Yu-Gi-Oh! Any day of the week, I will have to go back to an old flame. Magic the Gathering. Okay, so the first shoutout I'm going to do is one to Blue Yeti for allowing me to do this video and future videos correctly in the first place, as otherwise I would be kinda hosed. The second shoutout goes to one of the first friends I made through Magic the Gathering back in 2010 when I first started during the Scars of Mirrodin block. I don't remember his name, and since I no longer have a Facebook, I can't really find him within immediate access. So I will just refer to him as Emrakul, since I kind of have a whole commando name bit, unless people reveal their names on my streams, in which case I facepalm internally. The third shoutout will go to another guy in the same playgroup who happened to be the first person I met when I played Magic. The situation at large was that I happened to live at the same college dorm as a crew of upperclassmen. I met the first guy, his name was Sig, and I call him that because of his Sig River Guide deck, that at one point milled me out. It's really good. I remember getting into Commander format because of that deck. Anyway, Sig introduced me to Magic. He and the others in the group, there were at least 8 of them, were all amused by the fact I called lands energy cards initially because I remembered them from the Pokemon TCG. Then they recommended that I go to the nearest Walmart and get an Intra Pack, which I did. I remember thinking I got the wrong one when I got Dead Spread instead of Phyrexian Poison, but I later got cards from Phyrexian Poison and cards that would have been recommended in Phyrexian Poison anyway, so that ended up being a moot point. In Magic the Gathering, a majority of cards are represented by at least one of 5 possible colors. The color that represents me the most is black. If I had to pick a secondary color, it would be green. My favorite format in Magic the Gathering is Commander format. What used to be called Elder Dragon Highlander. I prefer the term Elder Dragon Highlander, but I've gotten used to calling my decks Commander decks. Basically, I like getting the cards and doing combos with them, which is more welcome in Commander than it is in other formats. Okay, so this fourth shoutout is going to Card Kingdom, and by proxy, Talarian Community College, as Talarian Community College was the first guy to tell me about Card Kingdom. A lot of my big issues with Magic the Gathering and buying stuff as such is that I usually am only relegated to Targets and Walmarts, and while their wares are not horrible, they're not exactly the best. The only time that I lived near any card shops proper was in late 2013 during Theros block. What's more, the 2 times I tried to interact with Magic through non-Target, non-Walmart, and non-Barnes & Noble means had been through 2 general game stores. One was a board games and other cool stuff store, but it reeked of nerdy hipster the moment I saw all the Scott Pilgrim merch. Anyway, the second one was a video game store that was kind of a pawn shop type deal. It was really weird, and Emrakul had to help me shake off a bad bargain with them. My main quest in Commander format, which will require Card Kingdom's assistance no doubt, is to amass an army of vampires. I was originally going to call the Commander deck Ruby because of a joke in which I used Mardu colors and then the multicolored cards I used were yellow. After a funeral attendance where I broke a CD player after it would not stop playing Kodak Black's Tunnel Vision, I wound up swearing a solemn oath of fealty to Chez Neuville and Sheena Duquette. I will have to complete this vampire deck as per the nature of my oath. My efforts to hire an army of vampires look to be a little easier this day, thanks to the Vampiric Bloodlust Commander deck from 2017. I'm going to deliver a 5th shout-out to another in-real-life friend of mine, this time by the name of Bloody Nitori. Bloody Nitori bought and paid for some of the cards from Innistrad block, specifically for Vampire and Werewolf Tribal. I had a whole thing I wanted to do where I wanted to celebrate my exile from the Sonic fandom by making a werewolf deck in standard format at the time. However, I have since transitioned both my werewolf and vampire deck ideas to commander format because they just are flat out better there, and neither Innistrad nor Shadows over Innistrad blocks are standard anymore, and they haven't been for quite a while. Most of my other commander deck ideas for now center around an OC of mine made long ago, before I was exiled from the Kingdom Hearts fandom. His name is Noshigar Belinsky, and so far I have a couple ideas. One of them involves Zergo Helm Smasher and Grafted Exoskeleton going together to pretty much kill any opponent with poison counters on the spot. Okay, so this 6th shoutout goes to whoever made the program Cockatrice, as it allows me to continue my Magic the Gathering hobby without bleeding money. It's an expensive hobby, unfortunately, but I'm learning to budget properly, so that way I don't regret anything later down the line. For now, I will be using Cockatrice to interact with friends of mine that happen to play Magic, though I will have to relocate some because I left a few sites in my travels during college, and also during leaving Tumblr. After that, I should be okay as far as the Magic introduction is concerned, so I will see you guys later, hopefully with one of my finished decks.